better than ever, so they say.
Right.
Man. Caesar Sportsbook first free bet insurance up to $1,250 for a time use. Download the app today. Just want to draw your attention to the bottom of the screen. We'll have new shows launching next week. It's going to be on Capital Sports Network, which is where I stream all my games and stuff like that. But so we're going to have some different things going on. We'll keep you posted over the course of the week. But might have maybe we'll have a cricket betting show. Maybe we'll have a betting on. Remember during the pandemic, they were betting on like those marble racing things. Because like
Korean baseball was my pandemic pleasure.
It was crazy because I just remember that like there was nothing, and then the Belarus League was like, we don't care, we're playing.
Everyone was a Belarus expert.
Oh man, Belarus, Nicaragua, and Taiwan, and everyone was like, "Oh, man, you're not picking very well." I'm like what? Like no, the guy's a carpenter, man. Like he's not even a real play. Like these guys don't even get paid. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it was rough times.
Dark times.
Dark ages for sure.
And then June, the Bundesliga came back, and I'd never been more happy to watch the Bundesliga in my life. Man, I get to watch real games, and then the Premier League and all that stuff. Wow, that was great times. Great time.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have all that stuff. I guess we'll do a little recap of the weekend. I was out at a game, covering a game in the morning, and everyone was like, this guy Conte is going to get fired. I said, yeah, probably. And then, I got back to the car and looked at the score, and Spurs won. I said, I don't even know what the hell these people are talking about.
They were down 2-0 at like one.
Yeah, exactly. Graham Potter might get fired. That was crazy.
Yeah, what? Like, they got, and it was right from the start. Brighton scored in the first 10 minutes, and that was it.
They do that every once in a while. They Brighton's a weird team. Like, they don't score forever, and then like they just score. I didn't love that game to begin with because I just had a feeling Brighton was going to be up for that game because, like, it's your coach abandoned you and all that stuff.
That's what I think it was, right? Like,
yeah, 100%.
You for leaving us.
Yeah, 100%. And Chelsea, it didn't help that Chelsea put 2 balls into their own net, but in the first half, I mean, 2 own goals. I mean, geez,
that was Potter saying, "Sorry, I left you guys. Have 2 goals."
Newcastle's very good.
Yeah, I was on Newcastle. I was on Crystal Palace, but man, like I was on Brentford, and they ruined me. I'm so upset with them. They should have won that match.
Yeah, Costa's out for 3 games. Hopefully United plays him. And then, of course, the game of the day. I got to watch the final. Well, there's 2 games of the day here, right in here, because Cadiz beat Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid 3-2 with a goal in the 90+9 minute to win, which is absolutely ridiculous. But how about Leeds? This Liverpool team is getting to the point where they are unbettable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're clearly not any good. I mean, they're clearly throwing all their eggs into the Champions League basket, which is a problem because, if they don't win this game, and we'll talk a little bit about the Champions League, if they don't win this game 5-1 or 4-0, and Napoli wins that group, all of a sudden, Liverpool's playing. They'll probably get they won't get bruised because that'll be City. Liverpool play like Bayern Munich. They won't get Tottenham if they win.
They won't get bruised. That'll be
Chelsea. They won't get Chelsea. And they can't get Napoli. So, they're either going to get Real Madrid. They can't get City. So basically, they're going to have either PSG if they win the group, Real Madrid, or Club Bruges, or they'll probably get Bruges, but or Bayern Munich. So they'll be out of that. So this Liverpool team is done. They got nothing left. They're washed. They're washed.
And man, everyone wants to talk about, Conte's going to get fired, all this other crap. Like I've been pointing it out. Klopp is done, man. Klopp is done. Like this is going to be, and they're not a team that can spend money in the January transfer window. So like, how do you see this team turning around? How do they make that turn?
Yeah, I don't think they do. Look at the odds here. Hasenhutl's the next guy. He's 2-1. Jesse Marsh, but he just won that game. I feel like they're going to give him some time.
You can actually bet on which Premier League manager is going to get sacked next.
Oh yeah,
my book does not have that
on anything in England.
It's good. You know what? I use Bet365, which is a UK book, and they have some wacky stuff. Like you can bet on the American and Canadian elections. You can bet on like duck racing, like the weirdest things. Cycling, darts. I can bet on, but I can't bet on like this specifically. I can't bet on Giselle's next boyfriend. I want the fun ones.
Yeah. I remember betting 100 years ago. This is so long ago. It was Hillary Clinton to win the Senate race in New York. So it was 2000, I think.
Oh my God.
It was way back.
I was like 2 years old.
Yeah. I distinctly remember betting on that. And I said, man, I can bet on politics? That's a little bit crazy.
I think the wackiest thing I've ever bet on was a few years ago when Shakira did the halftime show in the Super Bowl. I saw her and J-Lo both to twerk were plus 800. I was like, are you joking me right now?
Did they both twerk? I don't know.
They both literally took like a 5-second period. They both just like stopped the dance and twerked on stage. And then that was it. And I was like, that was a plus 800 that just cashed. Why was it plus 800? Like those two were going to twerk. They were going to
Insider trading, man.
Yeah. I like betting the national anthem length too. Like how long is it going to be?
Yeah, we're going to get to today's picks. Our guy Pedro Pimentel, if he's watching over there in Lisbon, I know his play today is both teams to score. Yes, in the Verona and Roma game, so we will get to that. But the Napoli won pretty big. Bayern Munich Italy won pretty big. Best team in. Arsenal won pretty big.
About time they needed something like that because these wins were getting too slim.
Yeah, Manchester United, huge win over West Ham.
I told you they were gonna do it. I told you. You never have faith in your team.
Oh, I know. I always think they're gonna win. I just don't bet them.
Yeah,
your team. I don't know what the hell happened there.
They suck. What do you mean? They suck.
Rafael Leao was awful in that game.
It's because they showed up on Wednesday? They showed up when they needed to in Champions League, so they threw this match because they're gonna have to show up again on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
That's what happened with them. When their backs against the wall, they come to play, man. So look to bet on AC Milan.
Today you got Elche and Getafe.
Do you want that match?
No.
I don't want that match. I don't want any part of that
match. I also cashed on the Union. I loved the Union yesterday. They went
too,
back, and then they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. But you got the 2 best teams playing in the final. Let me just take a look at those. It's very quick.
They had the disallowed goal in the first half too, and I was right away. I was thinking, it's going to be one of those games. And then when New York City FC scored, I was like, oh my God. But I think that just pissed Philadelphia off because then within 5 minutes it was 2-1.
This game is all about this is an over. You got to imagine this game is an over here, over under 3 basically. We'll talk about that more Friday, but today, Elche, Getafe, I don't even know where they are on the table, to be honest. 17th and 20th. Elche is awful. Getafe is not much better. when you see the lines, it's like I don't know. You can't bet this game. Don't bet. Do not bet this game. Do not bet this game. Don't do it. I do like these two games. I do like the one game in Italy. Monza and Bologna. Where are they in it? I didn't even know Monza.
That's the one you like?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, man.
No.
I thought we were on the same page.
No, I don't even know those Monza was in the league. I do like the Roma game. Pedro Pimentel, his play today once again is both teams to score. I don't understand what's going on with this. No events found. Match in total. What is this? Yeah, there we go. His thoughts were that Hellas Verona's not very good. Hit Union LAFC parlay yesterday. Yeah, Bill, the two best teams. I thought maybe Austin would give them a game. They didn't. They're the two best teams. I was 100% sure the Union were going to win. I gave out the Union yesterday, and what was my other play? I liked Freiburg. I loved Freiburg yesterday against the last place team. They scored right before halftime and they scored right after halftime. And, this Freiburg team is very good. Schalke isn't very good. This league is a little bit crazy here because, Bayern Munich's only got one loss. Freiburg and Union Berlin are right there. I don't know how long they're going to play like this at this level because, Dortmund is going to probably turn it around at some point. They're right there. Frankfurt is obviously a pretty good team. Leipzig's obviously a good team. But, I think this Freiburg team is legit. And I know because Freiburg had basically locked up their group, I believe.
Yeah.
See where they are in the standings.
I would say that Union Berlin just hasn't had a chance to play Bayern Munich yet and get embarrassed. Like they like to get all territorial, as you said.
Yeah.
They haven't had that opportunity like Freiburg yet to get blown out 5-0 and then have the league reclaimed by Bayern.
Yeah, LAFC is probably the too strong. They're the much better. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in the game, though. I think there's going to be goals. But, yes, LAFC, two teams that have never been to the final, now finally there after so long.
Philly's got a damn good goalie. I wouldn't count him out that much.
Very good, yep.
Very good goalie, very good defense. So it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Man, I didn't even realize till yesterday, Philadelphia had a plus 40 goal differential at home.
It's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous at home.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. They don't give up any goals and they score a ton of goals. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Like their last 5 home matches in the season were like 5-0, 6-0, 5-0.
You could make the argument that either team that wins is would be deserving. They're the two best teams all year. It's all, sometimes you get these MLS, or whatever, cup finals and stuff. And it's Leicester and Wigan or something. This is the two best teams, this would be like if Manchester City and Manchester United played in the final, the two best teams in England right now.
Yeah. And you know what? These two tied for points during the regular season. That's just how good both of them were. And LAFC won the Supporters Shield off of tiebreakers.
Yeah.
But this is really the true tiebreaker. And I feel like Philadelphia more so, since they didn't win the Supporters Shield, is going to come to prove that, hey, we could have won both if we actually had to play you guys. But I don't know. We'll see.
Bill's asking where my costume is. I'm dressed as a hipster. I got North Face and red glasses on. I dressed as a hipster.
I'm dressed as a Twitter capper. I believe they're doing those at Spirit of Halloween.
Yes, exactly.
So Twitter capper. I got my black T-shirt and my baseball cap. I think that's all you need.
I got
for
orange
the,
pants on,
job
Bill,
description.
so I got orange pants on. So
I have this one costume that like anytime I needed to go to a party or something over the last 5 years, I wear the same costume because I spent like $80 on it. And I'm not going to go buy a new costume every year. It's the Duff Man from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
And it came with the belt too. And like beer holders. So you can literally put like 4 beers in there. It's actually pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet. I don't know which way you I mean, I'm guessing Roma is Hellas Verona's been bad. I was interested, when I saw Pedro's play, it was both teams to score, instead of maybe just Roma, because the Roma odds are pretty good, and Hellas Verona's only won one game, and let me see what they are at home. They're 1-0-4 at home with a -5 goal difference. I think I like Roma in the game, and I think the over two. I do think there's going to be some goals in this game, so the over 2.5 is interesting here. I mean, basically even money. Both teams to score is -130. If you're going to do both teams to score, to me, if I think Roma's going to win, I'll do Roma in the over. I think you get better odds, obviously. Rome and the over parlay is basically plus 200. But I mean, I don't know. Is this your game for the day? You think?
Yeah, I actually love this game, and I'm taking Verona plus the 300.
Oh, dang!
It's one of those things where I think something in my gut tells me this is a Verona spot. They've lost 6 straight matches now. They got my guy Kevin Lasagna back in their last match, and they're starting to get some more players back from injury. They're at home here. I think they're going to be motivated to win. Roma's in a very bad spot because they're playing on Monday today when they play again on Thursday. And their match on Thursday is against Ludogorets. They're tied with Ludogorets at 7 points in the Europa League, and they lost in Bulgaria to Ludogorets 2-1. So Roma cannot draw on Thursday. They cannot lose, or they're staring at Conference League. So they're not going to. I don't think they're going to get up for this one. I don't see them putting out a strong lineup here. They have to win on Thursday against Ludogorets if they want to stay in the Europa League. I see this being a Verona spot. You're going to get a very desperate team here at home that's getting some players back from injury.
All right. Is the line out for the final? Yeah, LAFC is -135, -140, something like that.
A lot of value in Philly, considering you could get a draw and go to extra time in that match.
Yeah, you got to pull the line up here. LAFC plus 300. To win the trophy, Union is plus 175. Double chance, Union or draw, plus 112. So, yeah, that's correct.
And they don't even need to win the trophy. They could lose it in like penalties or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You like anything on Plymouth Argyle and Exeter City today? Or?
No, absolutely not. Honestly, the Verona one was the only one I really liked today.
Plymouth Argyle is leading the league right now. They got 38 points from 16 games.
They're going to be in the championship next year.
Let me take a look at that. Let me see what we got here.
Oh, they're -110. That's a damn good line for the number 1 team in the league at home. What the hell what is with that?
Wow,
that's baffling.
I'm going to take Plymouth Argyle today.
Like, wait, what? This is...
Time is that game?
That is a very good find. Like, what is with that line? Unless there's, like, somebody missing. But that is just mind-boggling on the surface.
Let's see.
Look at this. They're 8-0-0 at home. 15 goals scored in 8 matches. 3 goals allowed for Plymouth.
Only got 1 guy injured.
Can somebody explain this to me?
This is the best team in the whole football pyramid right now.
I mean, I guess Exeter is not awful, but like...
And they're going to have a teenager in goal.
Who, Exeter?
Yes.
They're 2-3-3 on the road too. 12 goals scored, 10 allowed. You might have just gave me a bet today.
I'm putting this bet in.
Plymouth.
Putting it in right now before they take it down, man. What is going on?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
See if I can bet it.
Why is the line like that?
I am at 105.
I got him at 110. So like,
who else is playing today?
What?
Oh, tomorrow's Oxford United and Fleetwood Town.
I don't get that line. That's a head scratcher. That is definitely a head scratcher. There you go, guys. There's the free play of the day. Plymouth money line minus 110 or 105, depending where you get it. Lock it in.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting to me. I mean, sometimes you can find these games. Let me see if anybody's kind of. I like the Pacers. I think the Astros win again. I'll take the run line. I like the Pacers plus 8.5, and it's couldn't be laying that many. Can't be laying that many points to anyone in the NBA.
The Nets.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. Let's see what Kyrie Irving's gonna say today. I'd like to put this. I'd like to put this in it. I'd like to find a game to parlay this Plymouth with.
Do the both teams to score in the Roma.
The over in the Brooklyn Pacers game, by the way, is 236. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, those totals are really starting to climb.
Memphis 231. Yeah, and now all of a sudden, didn't Milwaukee? Did Milwaukee just play the Pacers?
They just played somebody and smacked them.
Cavs won yesterday. I love the Pacers just smacked the Warriors. Scored 128 points too.
The Lakers won their first game.
Who'd they beat? The Ryder? Rutgers?
They beat the Nuggets, a revenge game, I guess. Of course, when I was on the Lakers, plus 9.5 in Denver, they couldn't even cover that, but they go and win by 11 at home. God,
man, that's crazy.
Such a bad team. They were bound to win a game, but I was gonna take them yesterday too, because again, my reasoning was they're gonna win a game. They're not just gonna go 0-10 to start the year, but you just can't touch them. They're one of those teams like the Nets. You can't touch them because they're just, you don't know what they are. Some days they show up, other days they're just bad.
Yeah, I think I can't. I mean, it's tough for me to bet these games. I just like some of these, just the totals. I mean, I try not to bet a lot of these NBA games because it's just so dodgy, half these games.
Yeah, hey, there's a lot of value in totals, man. The books don't have a really good grasp on that, so that's the way. I know somebody who just loves to do football totals because that's where the value is. Personally, I'm not a big fan of totals, but I like to treat the NBA similar to the NFL in the sense that I try to look for spots. I didn't like any NBA today, so I'm not going to bet it because I need the right spot. These teams, they don't play defense. They're so all over the place. You could lose a game just because a team can't shoot one night. They go 2 for 14 from the 3-point. You're not going to win. It's not going to happen.
Plymouth and over 1.5 goals in the Roma game is plus 148. Actually, that's not terrible.
Oh yeah, there you go. Take the over 1.5. That's pretty safe, I think. I really do think like I like that both teams to score play from Pedro just because obviously I'm on Verona. I think they're going to get up at home here. Roma, we've seen their defense slip up in the last few matches, so especially if they're not focused on this match. And Verona pressing, I think they're going to score. But Roma still has a good team, and I think if Verona scores earlier on them, it'll kind of like light a fire under them to get going if there's still enough time in the match. So, yeah, absolutely. I really did like that play, actually.
Yeah, and Bill talks about Halliburton, his points and assists are usually money. The Pacers push the pace. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's got a chip on his shoulder, man. Like, he was pissed when the Kings traded him last year.
Yeah.
He like almost cried about it. He was like, man, these guys fed me. They fed me like these beliefs. I bought into the team, and then to do me like that, how could they do that? Like, and then the Kings are even worse, really.
If you just tuned in, check out the banner at the bottom. There's going to be some new shows launching next week. We'll have links for them as soon as they're built. But I don't know. We'll be talking. We'll have first day of college basketball. We'll have some of that. Maybe some darts, some cricket, some. I don't even know what else there is.
Volleyball.
We won't be having darts. I
have Champions League volleyball. It's a thing.
Yeah. I did it right during darts during the pandemic. They have futsal. Man, you can bet on futsal now.
Isn't futsal okay? I don't exactly know what futsal is, but isn't it like hacky sack basically?
No, it's just like indoor soccer. Like it's like really quick.
Is it like a smaller ball? Is it like a size 1 ball?
No, it's not. It's like a size 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
It's not much smaller. A little smaller, but it's just like it's on a plate on like a court, like on like the rubberized court. It's really fast.
Oh, so it's like a mix of indoor soccer with a little bit of a smaller ball, probably smaller nets too, obviously.
Yeah, smaller nets. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. We used to play on Sunday nights in the league and stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty cool game. It's pretty cool to watch. They actually have a lot of it on like during the day. Sometimes like BN will have it on.
CBS Sports shows a lot of weird stuff. They show like professional bull riding sometimes. Then they got steel timber sports where you're literally just like cutting logs with the chainsaws and stuff. I don't know.
I mean, people always wonder like, why is the football going to like? Why are they playing on Tuesday nights? Why are they playing on Wednesday nights? Because if they didn't have the football on, they'd have people sawing logs on TV. Like
I've seen American Cornhole League. Like that's a thing.
It's just like they got to fill the time with something, and you can't just listen to these guys talk about stuff all day. I mean, it's just like, hey, like my brain like turns to mush. It's like so ridiculous. It will be your own channel. Yeah, Bill. It's at the bottom here. It's called it's Capital Sports. Hold on. Let me pull it up for you. So this is the channel that I stream. Like most of it here, you see is like this is when I went to Portugal and when they had the real bad fires. But most of it is like. I stream a lot of high school games, high school soccer, and some other stuff. But it's actually going to change a little bit here. If you see the from gambling to games, professional to high school and travel, your place for all the best sports videos. We're talking to. I'm in discussions to start streaming some professional soccer games from other countries. These countries don't have, when's the World Cup? Do you see any money there? Yeah, Bill, look, it's going to be absolute carnage. It starts on November 20th. The first week has 5 a.m., 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m. games. And then the second week, it goes to the 10-2 games because obviously match day 3 you have to play at the same time, and then it's going to be 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. This is Eastern time, 10 a.m. 2 p.m. And Bill, I mean, I just tell you because there's not a lot of games today, and I just kind of tell you this. So last World Cup, we'll go back to 2016. 2016, I had France to win the Euros before the tournament, like 5-1. Maybe it might have been actually 4.5 to 1. And they get to the final, and everyone's like, they're playing Portugal, and I'm over at my Portuguese buddy's house, and he's like, you got to hedge the bet. I'm like, no, France is going to win. And he's like, you should hedge it. So I didn't. And France, if you remember that game, Giroud hit the crossbar, they hit the post. They did everything but score. It goes to extra time. And because I didn't care about the game, like I just needed them to lift the trophy. And then the Eder scores in the extra time after Ronaldo got hurt, the bum. And then they win. So I lose, right? And everyone's like, you should have hedged. So 2017, the World Cup in 2018, in November of 2017, I hammer France. I'm like, France is winning the World Cup 7-1. All right. So I have them huge. I have them huge in future. Gets to the World Cup, they're playing. I can't like every single game I bet win. I'm putting the Kylian Mbappe score. Everything comes in. France. Every game over in the Spain-Portugal game, it's 3-3. Over in the Argentina-France game, it's 4-3. All the way gets to the final. So I'm just like absolutely annihilating the tournament. I mean, legitimately like 85% hit everything. I just hit everything. Get to the final. It's France and Croatia. And everyone's like, you got to hedge your bet. Because I had already won so much money by this point in the tournament, and I had France at 7-1. And I'm like, so I thought about it, and everyone's like, no, you got to hedge. So I thought about it and said, you know what? Screw this. I took France -1 in the final. I was like, I'm not hedging. France is the best team. So, and then, they go up 4-1. Mbappe scores. I'm going crazy. And then Lloris had that dumb error to make it 4-2, and I was getting all nervous. But then they ended up winning. So, like, man, I must have. So I won the future bet for like a lot, and then I won the bet on the game at -1 for like a lot. And then I just hit everything, like everything. So like I don't even know. I won so much money in that tournament. And then the Euros, I was in that competition and finished first. Some handicapper competition. I finished tied for first with some guy or whatever, from somewhere. I don't even know where he's from. But these games, I think the World Cup is it's easy. It's like the Champions League. It's much easier to win on those games than it is to win, not every game, obviously, than it is to win on the Premier League. Because the Premier League from week to week, when you look at these teams, like it's crazy. You look at this Premier League table right now. I mean, I don't think, I know you think Arsenal's winning. I don't think they can win the league. I think they'll fall back at some point. I think they'll finish top 4, obviously. I think Newcastle and United are right in the middle of it. But, you go back, this Fulham team is good, man. I mean, they have a 0 goal difference. They score a ton of goals. This Brighton team, we know how good they are. Liverpool is 9th. They stink. The only reason they have a +8 goal difference is because they beat a team 9-0. You take that game away, they're 3-4-4, the -1 goal difference. They're not any good. Palace is good. It's hard, man. Even Leicester City's in the bottom 3. They're not terrible. Like, it's hard to bet these games. But the Premier League, when you have these other games, or the World Cup, I just think it's easier to do that. And it's the same as the Champions League. That's why we always say, like, hammer the games on the Champions League when you get a chance. The group stage games especially. Because when it gets to the round of 16, there's still some teams in it that are just okay. But it's hard. All the bums are out. So, you're not getting, the round of 32 in the Europa League is around now it's the playoffs. But the playoffs are hard because you got decent teams against Champions League teams. The thing, these are hard games to pick when it gets here. So when you get to this World Cup, You basically got 2 weeks of these group stage games to hammer the games and win as much money as you can. And then it gets tougher. But still, you can find it. It's the same, So, when we get to, tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday, you got match day 6 of these Champions League games, and you got some games that mean stuff. You got to try to get your money when you can. There's going to be dead ringers. Like, there's no way I would bet this Bayern Munich Inter game. They're already both through. There's no way. I'm not betting Marseille Tottenham because it's too hard to figure out. Like, there's no way I'm betting Rangers Ajax because no one cares. Like, neither team is going to do anything. But there's some games where you could pick and say, okay, this game means something. Like, look at AC Milan. Man. AC Milan's minus 205 in that game. How about that?
Yeah, they got to win, man.
Chelsea's minus 335, and they already won the group. Like, why would you bet that game? Like, I would bet Zagreb. But there's no reason to bet Chelsea. They don't need the game.
They already lost to Zagreb.
Yeah. I mean, it's, look at the tables. Chelsea already won the group because they have the head-to-head over Milan, right?
Yeah.
And Zagreb actually needs the group because, Zagreb probably can't get through anyway. Zagreb's out. That's why. Zagreb is out because Milan or Salzburg, one of them has to either win or draw, so they would have to finish on more points than things. So, but there's going to be some games like Real Madrid, Celtic. Real Madrid needs to win that game to win the group. You don't want to finish second. So, Real Madrid's probably minus 600 in this game, not, minus 530. Leipzig needs, you want to bet games. You want to bet games where teams need the PSG at Juventus. PSG needs the game to win the group. Benfica at Haifa. Benfica needs the game to win the group.
They need like a 12-0 win to win the group.
Yeah, Napoli. Bill, Napoli's been unbelievable. Like, you're getting Napoli at Liverpool, a Liverpool team who's not very good, by the way. And you get Napoli, who just need to draw, and you can get Napoli or draw at plus 104. They really just they just need to not lose like 4-0. But you can't play like that. You got to try to play. So like Napoli or draw is plus 104. The thing is, Liverpool, obviously, if you remember Istanbul from 2014, they're up 3-0 and they're pushing to get goals. And then, if they need to push, so they're going to be open there. Napoli can go at them. So, there's going to be some interesting games. We'll go through all these tomorrow, the Tuesday and Wednesday games, but basically just wanted to kind of give you an update on that. And then, obviously Thursday for the Europa League, Sociedad and Manchester United. Manchester United needs to win the game. Manchester United needs to beat Sociedad because you don't want to go into that that playoff because you're going to be getting some pretty good teams in that. I forget what the score was. I think it was 1-0 the last time they played.
Yeah.
A terrible game, man. Terrible game at United. So United really just needs to win. United, they don't have the goal difference, so United needs to win by 2 goals. So they're probably going to go attack. I forget who they play on the weekend. I think it's like Fulham, maybe.
Aston Villa.
Oh yeah, they play Aston Villa twice. They play Aston Villa on Sunday, and then they play them again on Thursday in the EFL Cup.
Oh, they always love to do that.
Play
them in the league and then play them in the cup after.
They did that the one I went to 2 West Ham games I was over there the one year. I went to 2 West Ham and Manchester United games at Old Trafford in the span of like 3 days. And like the one game was just like it was like a terrible game, and then the other game we beat them like 4-0. It was like Zlatan had like 2 goals. But it was crazy. But yeah, so there you want to try to look. So if you're looking for some of these games here, Karabag and Freiburg is through. Karabag needs the game because Nantes is playing a terrible Olympiacos team. So, Karabag's at home. Karabag needs the game. Nantes here at Olympiacos plus 130. I would say that's probably a decent place. So start looking for stuff for teams that need games. Go through and look for teams that actually need to win the games. Look at Roma minus 360 here.
And they have to win. They lost to Ludogorets, and they're tied with 7 points. That's why I don't like them today. They have to win that match. Just if they draw, they're out of Europa League.
This game is interesting too because USG and Union Berlin. Union Berlin obviously is favored here because they need to win the game because Brago's playing a terrible Malmo team. So Braga will probably win. So then Union Berlin needs to win to go through. So, that's why Union Berlin is minus 106 and USG is already through. So maybe they rest players for the league. So just go through and try to. I don't like betting EPL, too much parity except Man City. I don't know. I mean, City's been terrible. First of all, they're terrible to watch. It's terrible. The game was, it's atrocious to watch. And they haven't been playing very well. Like, and here's the thing, you see what they are without Haaland when Haaland gets hurt. If Haaland ever gets hurt and is out for like any Champions League games, because he gets hurt all the time, right? Because he's a robot. He's got to go in for servicing and stuff like this. So like, if he gets hurt and misses any kind of big game or misses any like a month of games he's obviously not in the World Cup, but if he gets hurt in January or something like this, they're in a little bit of trouble because the whole team is built around him. So I mean, they'll probably be able to get by like they have the last couple of years, but we'll see.
Other guys are on the injury report for load management, and he goes on for maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's shut down for it's like a site maintenance. Shut down for something for maintenance.
36 hours.
Yeah, exactly. The sites they always do that, man. These games do. Every time I try to bet, every time I like a game in like China or something like that, or some early league, the site is down for site maintenance. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, man, this is the only time ever I wanted to bet this game. And now you're going to tell me I can't bet it.
Yeah, I used to do that with tennis a lot.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. So, I mean, basically today, you like the football game at all today?
It's a tough one for me because, like, I want to take the Bengals because they've been playing a lot better. It looks like their offensive line is starting to gel and their offense is getting heated up. But, like, I don't know. It seems like one of those spots where, nobody wants to touch Cleveland with how bad they've been. And all of a sudden, like, Cincinnati's back to being the Super Bowl team. It just seems like a Cleveland Browns spot. But
the line is a little tough, too. I mean, these lines are so tight. And to be honest, the Browns are 2-5, and their point differential, they've lost 4 in a row, and their point differential is minus 18. They're like this close to being, every game they play is close. I mean, they've won 26-24. They lost 31-30. They won 29-17. They lost 23-20, 30-28. They got blown out by the Patriots, and they lost 23-20. They've lost 3 games by a combined 8 points. Or not 4 of their games by combined 9 points. I mean, it's just every game is close. So 3.5 seems to be like a lot, especially at home.
They've also won 7 straight against the Bengals.
Yeah. Here's betting. Yeah.
So I don't know.
7 of 8. The Bengals are without Jamar Chase. I don't know. I maybe the under. Chubb's going to run the ball a lot. Maybe Jacoby Brissett over half an interception. Bill likes Burrow over 267.5 passing yards. Let me put this back on here. Hold on 1 second. Hey, can I call you back in like 2 minutes? My show's almost done.
Sure.
All right. My boss. He wants some tips. Game props. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to open. All right. Burrow over 267. This is the I don't know, Brissett over interceptions. I think is pretty good. I think both teams are going to run the ball. I don't know. I don't really love the game, to be honest.
It's not a good one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So tomorrow we'll come back and we're going to talk these Champions League games, and there's some games in the Championship, I believe, as well. So in the England National League, there's a lot of Championship games. Let's start. Look, if you're going to get some value like you did today in this game, maybe I'm going to start having to look at some of these. So we'll go through them. But make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell. Go to Amedeus's site there.
Big Allen Pick Advisor.
Big Allen Pick Advisor, and find your stuff there. All right. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.